America really is at war with MAGA. They are really a threat to America. Their mindsets and the ways that they think and the way they think things should be, it's not good for anyone.
Joining me now, Democratic Congresswoman from Texas, Jasmine Crocket. She is the vice-ranking member on the House Oversight Committee and now a newly minted member of the Doge subcommittee. Welcome, my friend. It's good to see you. Let's get to what you'll be doing serving on this committee. It's led by Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene to provide oversight to Doge's efforts. Do you know why they went after access to the federal government's payment system?
I have no idea, but I don't have any positive thoughts when it comes down to it. I appreciate that you played the clip of Jamie Raskin, and as you know, Congressman Raskin asked, why do you need access? I mean, here it is. I'm a wholly, fully elected member of Congress. I don't have that kind of access. So when you start talking about who should have access to literally the system that controls approximately $6 trillion of our dollars, I don't really understand, because the people that worked in those positions could only distribute money per the law. So why is it that the Doge committee would have to have access? And that's not the place that you go to look for cuts. You look at our budget, which it is Congress that has the power of the purse. You look at our budget, you help the president come up with his proposed budget, and then the House and the Senate will decide what we send to his desk, and he gets to decide whether or not he signs it into law. He should not have access to this. And with people already having angst about Elon Musk and the things that he does as it relates to technology, this is not instilling anything more than another layer of fear, especially since normally when you are going to be in a position like that, you have to go through security clearances. And let me tell you, some people think security clearances are all about whether or not you have a warrant or not. No, they look at whether or not you have some sort of divided interest. They look at whether or not you have good credit. They look at so many other things. And we're talking about someone who's unelected, unvetted, and definitely unconfirmed, that is now literally sitting atop our $6 trillion, and we don't know what it is that he's doing, and we honestly don't know what role he has.
We back with another video, and I mean, I just had to laugh when I saw this, and I said, you know what, let me share this with the family. So, my girl Jasmine Crocket, y'all know I love Jasmine Crocket. That is one of the fighters we have in Congress right now. She needs to be protected at all costs, because we need more people like her stepping up and fighting. So she was just on the news the other day with MSNBC. At the beginning of the video, the news anchor was asking, you know, about her, she's now on the subcommittee for Doge, which don't nobody know what that is. Even Jasmine clarified, they don't even know what that is. When she said the Doge committee led by Marjorie Taylor Greene, y'all, when I tell you, Jasmine Crocket eyes got to blinking, she spoke to all of y'all. Know we know how to speak with our eyes. She said a whole bunch without saying nothing. Them eyes blinked and told us everything we needed to know. It was like a brain overload, because she was ready to cuss just hearing her name. And I had to laugh because I was looking at her eyes blinking, and I'm trying to count. I'm like, did they blink 6 times? Because y'all know the B6, the bleach blonde, bad built, butch body. Y'all, and it was so funny when she was blinking. I just kept saying, I was bleach blonde, bad built. But you know, as her blinks, it was too funny.
You have well articulated some of the bad thoughts as you described them at the top here. The question is, does Musk's team now have the power to actually disrupt federal payments?
In my opinion, they do, but I honestly don't know. We still don't know really what Doge is in the first place. I mean, listen, think about it like this, Alex. You know, everyone hates Congress. That's just what it is, right? But as a sitting member of Congress, I mean, I had to give up my ability to practice law. I am prevented from being able to practice law to prevent potentially somebody dropping a load of cash on me and I do something that is nefarious as one of 435. And now we're talking about a guy who literally gets government contracts from the United States and has not had to divest, has not had to, I mean, it is really awful. And I know right now people are asking whether or not their IRS refund checks are going to be affected. We don't know if this is more DEI. Are you you going to say if it's somebody that's a person of color, then for some reason, whatever they paid in to the federal government, they're not allowed to get it back? Like, we don't know, but there is no reason for any political appointee, if you can even call him that, to have this kind of access. There's none.
Let me move to the fact that you are also a member of the Judiciary Committee, and since Donald Trump took office, multiple top FBI officials and federal prosecutors who all worked on January 6 cases, they're out of a job. And now the DOJ wants names of those who worked on the Trump or January 6 investigations for possible firing. What do you make of this apparent cleansing?
I mean, you just called it what it is. It's a cleansing. I mean, listen, when Democrats got out there and we said that our democracy was really at risk, people were like, oh, Democrats, you're out there, you're gaslighting. It's not our democracy. Well, he did say he'd be a dictator on day one. Oh, Democrats, it's just Trump. He just talks. Well, let me tell you something. He is doing more than talking. We talked about Project 2025. We talked about the consolidation of power. We talked about how he wanted to be a king. We talked about in a democratic republic, that is not what it is. We have some sort of checks and balances, and he is doing everything that he can to get rid of those checks and balances. The DOJ and the people that he's going after were simply doing their jobs. The problem is that Americans thought that it was okay to take a full-fledged criminal and make him the president of the United States, and then they want to act aghast when he does criminal things. Let me tell you, we have a thug in charge of the United States, and if we don't wake up, we may not have a United States, because right now he has only been successful in being a divider in chief.
Can you tell me what you're hearing about him from Republicans, from colleagues that will speak to you off the record? Do they have concerns about him? No names, but are you hearing concerns?
I do hear concerns, and let me make sure that I get this timeline together for the American people. Number one, he was sworn in on January 20th. That was on a Monday. We were supposed to be in session from Tuesday to Friday of that week. They canceled our Friday votes, so we have only been in session Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of the week that he was sworn in. No other days. They decided to take advantage of the fact that Congress was not in and started to unravel and break as many things in our democracy as they could without us being here. But I can tell you that even when we went through the CR vote, there were Republicans that silently or in the background were cheering us on and saying this is wrong. Like, they knew we had negotiated, and all of a sudden this guy who's not elected makes a tweet on Twitter. And so, no, can I tell you that Republicans want to see Elon go down? I can. Now, will they come out publicly and say that? No, because they're concerned about whether or not he'll spend money in their next elections. But there are some. But I need them to understand that this is their time to rise up and do what is right. This is the time to honor the oath that we all took. Listen, today I had to enter into agreement with Rand Paul, something that I never saw on my bingo card. But this is a guy who made it clear. This stupid tariff war is just that. It is dumb. And I have to agree, even when it's somebody like Rand Paul, I have to agree that he is absolutely correct.
So just specifically, what is Rand Paul saying that you said, yeah, I'm backing you up on this?
On the tariffs, he said that deciding to put these tariffs on Mexico as well as Canada, I don't think we'll ever scream too loudly about tariffs on China, but that's a whole other issue. But he was saying that it is going to take the cost of things up and that we should just call it what it is. This is a tax. It is a tax on Americans. And his attitude about it was, allegedly, the Republicans don't like to do taxes. So why are we raising taxes on the American people? But that's exactly what it is. It's a tax on us. We are the ones that are going to pay.
Can I just ask you, didn't you hear Donald Trump say many times during the campaign he was going to lower prices for the American people? Won't this have the opposite effect?
Now, I tried to I tried to ignore a lot of the things that he said, but yes, he did say that. He did tell that lie. And we know we've got historic prices right now on eggs. For everybody that said they voted because of the price of eggs, they have only gone up. And just saying that you're going to lower something with only offering concepts of a plan was really the giveaway that he did not have a plan to help you lower the cost of food. Instead, as we are seeing these raids that are taking place, we know that we've heard from farmers that people aren't showing up to work. And the reality is that every single city that I've campaigned in, I would ask people, tell me how many of you plan on going into farming or sending your kids into farming. So you explain to me how that food is going to make it to the grocery store if there's no one that is actually willing to go out and work the fields. And now let's talk about the foods that we get out of Mexico, whether it's our avocados, whether it's our strawberries, the things that we import. Let's talk about what that's going to look like when Mexico says, oh, okay, well, they put a tariff on it. All that's being passed on to us. And then when it comes to people, especially in my state of Texas, where we are one of the largest traders in the world, not just the United States, but in the world, Texas is our own economy. And now our biggest trade partner, Mexico, is saying, you know what, we're going to slap these tariffs on. What does that mean? Those businesses that are doing trade are now going to be hit because people in Mexico may not be buying those items because now they are going to be too expensive.
It's always sobering to talk with you, I have to say, but you also managed to bring a smile to my face with your energy and personality. So thanks. Gotta say thanks for that as well.
Jasmine made a lot of good points. You know, it's like, what do they need access to all this information for? It is there's no reason that they need access to that. And if you're going to, and she stated that if you're going to look for budget cuts, that is not the place to do it because that's the American, people's money. So basically, she even stated that, her as an elected Congresswoman, she doesn't even have access to that. So Elon Musk having access to that, and the Doge committee and all of them having access to that. And it is a really scary thing because you don't know what they're going to be doing with that. He has the Social Security numbers and budgets and things like that for all of his competitors. She talked about the cleansing of the federal jobs and things like that they're forcing people to retire and get out of their positions. Basically just letting y'all know that they tried to tell you on the campaign trail. And like she said, they wanted to just sit there and say, oh, Donald Trump, he just talks and, you can't take him serious. But like she said, Donald Duck doing a lot more than just talking. He doing some off the wall stuff. I mean, Project 2025 and more than that is in full effect because it's so many executive orders you can't even keep up. But when I tell you the one thing that attacked on the black community and the diversity, equity, and inclusion, they are hammering down on that hard. The immigrants, they trying to deport any and everybody, legal people too, and that just don't make no sense. They try to deport the bishop that told him to have for him to have mercy on the American people. I think she's from New Jersey. Where are they going to deport her to? Now I'm hearing that they trying to deport black people now. You going to deport us back to Africa? We not the same immigrants that y'all trying to come up against. So, the scenario is a lot different. The Native Americans, where are you going to deport them to when this is their land? Can somebody make it make sense? I when it comes to MAGA, I just don't understand, and I don't think I will be able to understand. I just can't comprehend. I can't. So maybe y'all please help me out and explain how all of this makes sense. So I love when Jasmine goes on the news. She speaks the truth to the people, getting the information out there that we need, let us know, keeping us informed, letting us know what's going on. And if y'all haven't checked out my previous video, they are attacking Jasmine Crocket very hard. I think that one you'll see Jasmine call the police. They had to call the police on somebody in her inbox making all kind of racial slurs and threats and things like that. So it's getting bad out here, and I'm just praying for Jasmine Crocket protection, strength daily. and a lot of the members of Congress as well. But I am praying that we get a lot more fighters stepping up, and I hope that this last election was a wake-up call that it's time to change course and get a new direction going. It's time to stand up, step up, and fight, because they are not holding back on this MAGA. MAGA is a different breed. That's all I can say. And I've been saying this in previous videos. America really is at war with MAGA. They are really a threat to America. Their mindsets and the ways that they think and the way they think things should be, it's just not. It's not good for anybody, unless you're a straight white male. So all I can say is just pray. I'm praying that in at least the 2 years we can get majority of the House and the Senate, so we can at least block a lot of the things that Trump is really trying to do, finishing out his term, and prayerfully this is going to be the last term. So, all right, well, that's enough. I'm just rambling on, but y'all comment on the video, let me know what y'all think, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch y'all on the next video. Peace.